So do you want to become a leader? Well, there's a formula. And once you uncover that, you can make an impact in the world. I can't wait to share this next episode of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living, on leadership and my guest book, The Courage of a Samurai. So stay tuned. Frankie Lee, dimmi, quale senso della vita?
The meaning of life is to live la dolce vita, which is the formula for fabulous living.
Hi, my name is Heather Picken, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show, the formula for fabulous living. I'm the catalyst in helping you to be more confident, create your dream business, and attract elite clients and live a fabulous life. Here's Heather helping you to upgrade your life to
fabulous. Upgrade your life to fabulous. Right, Frankie? You're fabulous.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. Yes, there is a formula for success, and once you follow it, what happens is that you make an impact in the world with your product, service, or mission that you're really inspired to do. And I am so inspired to have my guest today, Tsugawa Whaley, and she's going to be talking about leadership in a very different way. And I brought her book along. This is a really great book, The Courage of a Samurai. And she's going to be sharing with our audience. She's going to be talking a little bit about the book and what she calls how others can reach their God-given leadership potential, no matter what their path is, their heritage, or circumstance. So I love that. And Lori, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Well, thank you, Heather. I'm very honored.
And I just love this. I want to share this with everyone. For those people that are watching over on my site, heatherpicken.com, you can actually click on the video, go over to blog, and you can watch us on the video. I always recommend for people to click on what I call Pavlov's bell because it's connected to YouTube. And that basically lets people know when other episodes are coming out. And please rate, review, and subscribe to the episodes on iTunes and YouTube because my mission and purpose is to empower millions of women that really, want to have the courage. They want to lead from inspiration and make an impact in the world. So it's exciting to be talking about this book today. And Lori, I always like to kind of learn, what was your inspiration behind writing this book? Let's start there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, one of the main points I wanted to do was to overcome traumatic brain injury. And I felt I was reading at a 7th grade level about 10 years ago, had to learn a lot of things over again, and I just determined to overcome TBI. My goal was to write the book, of course, and the book to overcome TBI. And I felt that once I finished that book, if I could do that, then I will have overcome, or shall we say, get as best as I can through writing the book. And that was one of my goals. The other goal was to bring honor and courage to what I call the second generation Japanese Americans. And they're the ones that weathered behind, well, we'll call them incarceration camps here in the United States of America. And this year, 2017, is the 75th year since they were put in those horrible places. And Chuni Sugihara, the righteous Gentile, he's going to be featured in an event on April 9th. I'm very excited, in Seattle. And he is the one who wrote Visas Against the Government of Japan and Lithuania. And I saw his exhibit about 20 years ago in Seattle at the Wing Luke Museum. And his life inspired me because he was willing to risk everything to save the lives of people that he didn't know just because he was a humanitarian. And his quote is, he said that I would rather obey God than my government. And there's nothing wrong with saving people's lives. So those are my inspirations. And also yes, my journey home, I'm Japanese American, 3rd generation, and I was teased and bullied and didn't like who I was, but now I absolutely have come to embrace who I am. Through the Code of Bushido, I started studying that, and just many things led up to the book, and I'm just very pleased and happy to share it with the world.
I love that. And there's like some really golden nuggets of information I want to kind of extract from what you just said, you know, talking about challenges, overcoming a brain injury. And, you know, when you overcome something, and I really want people to listen to this, you know, when you overcome the challenges, this is when your genius is unleashed and you can really make an impact in the world. I know personally, I was diagnosed with a learning disorder when I was in 4th grade, and that really disempowered me. It really challenged me. And so when I meet other people that have overcome the challenges and that they're, you know, creating something that's making an impact, is do not run from the challenges. Your challenges are actually there to catapult you to the next level. Leaders really embrace the challenges. They go after challenges that are exciting. So I really want to commend you for doing that and connecting, you know, taking this wisdom and sharing the 7 principles. And I was wondering if you could kind of go through that and let's talk about that, how those principles are really aligned, or how we can use them as a leader in the world today. Because now more than ever, you know, would you agree, we have some challenging times, you know, now and ahead of us. But I really believe through, you know, leadership and people like you sharing their inspiring ideas can transform the world with their work.
Great. Well, there are 7 principles in the Code of Bushido. And the first one is courage. We all need courage. That doesn't mean that we're not afraid, but we go through whatever our challenges are with an end in mind. We calculate the risk, and like Sugihara did. And that's who I wrote about in the book, about courage, because he overcame with courage. He had a plan, but he also had the moral fortitude and the strength to overcome and to write those visas. Integrity is doing the right thing, doing what is right. We all know what is right, but do we all do it? And so I wrote in the book about courage. I mean, integrity is about a woman who, against many odds, writing a book way back when there were no computers, no computers or copy machines. She wrote a book that will help the Japanese understand what happened to them during World War II, because she felt there was an injustice. And benevolence is one thing that separates the Japanese warriors or samurai from other warriors, is they had a heart, and they wanted to do what was right, but they also wanted to do what was kind. Respect, and that is so important in the Japanese culture. Manners, bowing, giving your card to somebody. You don't just hand a card to someone. You would actually look at it and study it and never write on it or put it in your back pocket, because that is disrespectful. And I really feel that respect is something in our society that we can use. I teach manners at the prison in the state of Washington. I go twice a month, and I teach the women about manners, because I said that will separate you from other people that are trying to get a job, because I said it's not easy to find a job out there, and they're going against many odds. One of them is having a record. So I said that will set you apart, to be polite, respectful, be a team player, and don't interfere with other people, and do what you know to be right. Respect, and just to have good manners, and just be nice. The next one is honesty. And honesty is so important, because in this day and age, we always do business and like the people that we know and trust. And to be honest is something that we can all be, whether it's going to the grocery store and handing back change to the cashier if you've gotten a few extra dollars, to very larger amounts of money. We can all be honest, but it starts with those little things. Just be honest, and be honest to ourselves. Honor is what is lost, what is gained if you have no name. And honor is your good name, because when your name is gone, what do you have left? And honor is to do the honorable thing. Loyalty, like the dog, you can be loyal, and it's so important to be loyal to yourself and to your vision, your goal, and to other people. Be loyal. When you say you're going to be there, be there. And Gambaru is what I added at the end. That's the 8th one. And I added Gambaru because my mother was so inspirational to me, and I couldn't figure out where to put her in one of these traits. So I thought, oh, Gambaru, that means try your hardest, do your best, never give up, and go for broke. That's a motto of the Japanese people. Help them get through the Kobe earthquake, about 1995. And then in 2011, they would say gambaru, gambaru, helping each other get through these hard times. They do that in doing a test for an entrance exam, which is so important in Japan, to pass those exams to get into the right school that will get you the right job. And they will say gambate, gambate, and it could be for a sports event. But I love that word, because that is the essence of the samurai warrior. Gambate, try your hardest, do your best, never give up, and go for broke. Because all of these principles are wonderful, but if you don't have the courage, or you give up, what do you have? So that is the one principle that I love, is gambaru.
I love that, because I find, today a lot of people can give up too easily. And if you look at, the Japanese culture, I mean, these people are, going through the challenges. They're not running from them, and learning, really embodying the wisdom. I find sometimes, now it can really get lost, really drawing from the wisdom and looking at the other people that were persecuted and ridiculed for their ideas, and that all, great leaders really stood the test of time. They stood in their truth, they stood in their power, they had an idea that they wanted to get out there and share in the world. And I think these principles today, we can really implement them, no matter what's happening. I know a lot of times right now, and I'm curious with your thoughts, right now we're living in I'll say quote unquote interesting time, because I don't want to buy into the fear. I don't want to buy into the doom and gloom, because I know one person, one message can create a mission that can impact the entire world. So you as a leader, with your mission and message, how do you see this creating a ripple effect, not only in the Japanese community, but with just everybody, all together?
Mm-hmm. Like Henry Ford says, whether you can or can't, either way you're right. And if you say, oh, I'm afraid and I don't know what's going to happen, well, you can determine the course of your life. And just by being that ripple, like you said, the one person making that stand and say, I am standing for my beliefs. I'm standing for truth. I'm standing in my power. I'm standing for things that are right. And it does begin to rub off. But if you get around people and you listen to all the negativity that's going on, and there is a lot, but there's also so much positive that's going on in the world. There are people like Mother Teresa, who's not with us anymore, but there are many people that are doing the right thing, doing things that will help people and lifting people up rather than putting people down. And those two words, be nice, just be a nice person, and things will happen in your life, and you'll start attracting those things that are positive, those things that are good and true and pure. But if you go down that negative road, that's what's going to happen. For instance, if you say, oh, I'm probably going to get the flu, or I'm going to get sick, well, you probably will, because you just spoke it into existence. But if you say, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm doing everything I can to be a leader, everything I can to be healthy and strong, to show others the way. And that's why one reason why I'm at the prison is I know what it's like to struggle, but I also tell them there is a better way. I'm here to tell you that you can have a better life, and you deserve a better life. Just like every person on the face of this earth deserves a better life.
I love that. So let's talk about, really living by these principles as it applies to overcoming challenges, because a lot of times entrepreneurs will actually, it's inevitable. You'll face a challenge. If you haven't faced a challenge in your business, you're not growing. I can tell you that for sure. So how can we use these principles to overcome, the challenges? Let's say, you're working on something, it doesn't work out exactly how you want it, so what would be some of the tools that you could give people to really change their perspective on how they're thinking?
Well, thank you for asking that. I just believe that I receive so much from the Japanese people. And one person I wrote a little bit about was Musashi. He was a swords person that wanted to be the best dual person in the world, or swordsman in the world. And he fought over 60 battles, never lost one. 60 battles, but he would do it by outsmarting, outwitting, and have a plan in mind. Sometimes he would show up late to so his opponent would be all rattled and not know what to do. And he would do all these different tactics. He would try and try and try until he won, and he never lost. And that was his goal. He didn't go into these battles saying, oh, well, this person has a great reputation, and I don't know if I'm going to win or not. He went in saying, I'm going to win, and that is my goal. And that's what we as entrepreneurs and leaders do. We have a vision, and there's something that's in our heart that we know that will help the world. We don't give up. It's whether you have one person in an audience when you're speaking or 1,000. It doesn't matter. You act as if you have 1,000, even if you only have one or two. That hasn't happened to me, but if that does happen, that's what we do, is we just go forth. We go with laser-like focus, like the samurai, and use those principles. Any of them, they all work interactively. Courage and integrity work together, and honor and loyalty, and just doing what we know is right. There's 7 principles that the samurai lived by. And there's 7 words that I like to use. Do the right thing all the time. 7 words. Do the right thing all the time, no matter what. Just do what you know is to be right.
I love that. And there's such great principles that everyone can live by and really activate that leader within, because I believe everyone has the ability to be a leader. It's when they subordinate to other people, authority figures saying, hey, you can't do that. And it's up to you, to really stand firm in your own truth and overcome those challenges, just like you were talking about. Is just because one thing doesn't work out, you don't quit, you keep going. And failure is actually, a beautiful thing, because the more that you see it as just a result, and you push through and you strategize like great leaders do, then you're going to be the one that is going to rise above the noise. And to me, that's what it's all about.
Yes, I believe so. And like you said, just to rise above, surround yourself with like-minded people. If they say that you're like the 5 people that you surround yourself with, whether it be financially, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, any of those things. So you be careful about who you can be friends with everyone, but be careful about those close people that you are in contact with, because those people can take you one way or the other. And you want to surround yourself with people that, shall we say, that are inspiring, that have actually achieved or going towards their goals. And those are the people that you want to surround yourself and listen to. Don't listen to the negative naysayers and everything like that, even though we know that goes on and we listen to the news occasionally. But if we inundate ourselves with the news, that's where our brain will go. We go, oh, well, it's going this way. Well, it doesn't have to, because there are so many great leaders today living right now, like Les Brown, and there's so many leaders. I can't, the names just pop out of my head, but that's what happens. I'm sorry, with brain injury. Oh, it's brain injury.
Absolutely.
Tony Robbins. There are many, many leaders that and Heather Picken. We can always aspire to be the leaders that we admire. We can take from them. We can glean from them. We can learn from them. Read about what they do, or even read their books. That's what great leaders do, is they read. Leaders are readers.
It is so true. And I will say also is not to put, the leaders on a pedestal, but to really own those traits and see yourself as equal. Because when you do, out comes your genius, out comes really the leader that you have. So when people say, oh, I aspire to be so-and-so, oh, they're so perfect. And I'm here to tell you, they're just like you. When you own your power, you own your greatness, and you see yourself as equal to everyone else, that's when you can create transformation in the world. And Lori, I just want to thank you so much and for being on my show today. And this book, I recommend everyone picking up a copy of this book, and they can go to loriwhaley.com, and that's in the show notes. So whether you're watching this over on my site or on iTunes, you can go ahead and do that. And Lori, before we leave, is there any last words or thoughts that you want to share with our audience?
Yes, on my bookmark, I don't know if you can see that. There are many places you can go to buy it. Kinokuniya and up and down the coast. And one other thing is, I don't have it. I just have it right outside the hall. But could I share the poster of the?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I apologize.
Absolutely. No worries. And for those people that, again, that are listening or watching this, the book is called The Courage of a Samurai, 7 sword sharp principles for success. Now, I want everyone to say that 7 times fast. That's awesome.
Yes. I've been involved since the summer on a project that just is very dear to my heart. It's called the Holocaust and the Japanese American Connections. The first event was in February at the University of Washington, very successful. The second event is going to be on April 9th in Seattle, and the Consul General of Japan is leaving, unfortunately, and we're having a farewell reception for him. After the event, we're having a one-man show of the life of Chiune Sugihara. And here's the poster. Can you all see that?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The Holocaust and Japanese American Connection. But the second one, April 9th, is the one that I am involved with. And it's going to be at the Blaine. Can you see that? Blaine
Yes.
Memorial Church? Yes.
Yes. So for those people that live in Seattle, or if you want to fly out to Seattle, you can find out more about that. Meet Lori, and awesome. That's so great. Well, Lori, thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you, Heather. It's been a pleasure, and God bless all of you. And I just ask that what you do is sharpen your sword and let the journey begin.
I love that. And just before we close out, I want everyone, to really take this concept of being a leader and using and applying these principles to empower yourself. No matter what has happened to you,
That's
you
right.
can turn things around and live and find your formula, what I call the Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So if you found this show to be fabulous, please share with your fabulous friends, rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. And I'll make sure I take a beatbox lesson, right? Or give my little chihuahua a bone. That's me. Fabulous.